Hi everybody, I'm here. How's it going? It's going. Sorry, I'm still doing this here, you know how it goes for me. What is this? Oh, I don't know. Okay. What? My kids are acting up. Threw my candles all over the place, fucking chasing each other like crazy maniacs. How are you guys doing? That's the question. See King in here. I got you soon, King. King, Cheese Leaf, Savvy. It's Saturday night, guys. Party, party. Just kidding. I want. Oh my god. Party be good, but not, unfortunately. Not bad. Not bad is good. Yeah. Bad would be bad. Not bad is not bad. I have this stupid ass song in my head that I hate. That I hate. Oh my god. But I heard, where did I hear it? I don't even know where I heard it. You know when you have a song stuck in your head, you heard it and you don't even know where you heard it? And that's, and then you hate the song? Oh my god. Almost done, guys. Sorry. This one more. That depends. It depends on how busy it is. If I got a lot of people on here, I'm just gonna keep going. You know, if I see that like within an hour or two, it's just consistently kind of stays the same, then I go. Like consistently stays the same as in like not more than 2 or 3 people, and if it's also quiet in the chat, if not many people are talking, then Okay, come on now. You were doing good, Instagram. You were doing good, and oh yeah, in a half hour I'll definitely still be here. I don't leave until 45 minutes, unless there's literally just one person or zero the whole time. Then, but 45 minutes is about where I cut it off if it's slow. So you got time. You're good. Cat hair in my nose, in my mouth. Ridiculous. What is he chewing on? Guy, what are you doing? I can't even see him. Hey, I can see your tail. What are you doing? It's so ridiculous. Okay, cool. Ah, interesting enough, Savvy. Alright, King, I got you. Oh, and what is that? I would love to hear about that now. Well, man, you're acting crazy. Oh, I'm about to do that now, King. I just gotta put my my phone on the thing. Alright. Done here? Yes, done. What is this? He must have found something that he's playing with now. It was supposed to be raining today, and I didn't even water my plants because it said rain, and now I'm sitting here and it's fucking not raining. It's ridiculous. It's the weather reports have been absolutely incorrect almost every day. It's fucking annoying. I guess I gotta water my plants tomorrow. I knew this was going to happen. Oh my god. I love it. Whatever kind of plant that would be. Alright. Guys, stop. What are you doing? Ridiculous, man. Lost 3 followers on TikTok. This is not going well. Me trying to get my TikTok following up is not going well. All right. Oh, they've been trying that since we got TikTok. They've been trying that. It's so stupid. Because, I mean, I don't understand it. Because there's really no information to be gathered. Because TikTok is all about entertainment. There's nothing valuable. You know, like me, for instance, posting a video giving you a reading on TikTok. How is that of value to the Chinese government? It's not. It's not. It doesn't hold any value that could establish, you know, any danger for security of any of the United States citizens or the country. Like, there's no danger. You know what I'm saying? It's so dumb. Because it's just then if that's the case, it's just because it's China, you know. But you know, then you would have to really ban everything, all the social media, because like they can access that too. That's why it doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, I don't really care. If, you know, ultimately when it comes to myself, I don't care. If they do it, okay, fine. I'm just using it to connect, you know, to get more followers, to be able to go live, okay? When it comes to the app itself, when it comes to the whole thing itself, I don't care. I will just continue on Twitch and go my way. You know, I don't care. I adjust. I'm very flexible with what I, you know, with what I do. So it doesn't bother me. I do find it a little bit. I mean, I think what's aggravating about this whole thing, that they're you know, presenting a bill and doing all, they're spending so much money. They're getting so involved in that crap, and there's so many more important things that need to be addressed. You know, like system overhauls for immigration, school systems, like the police force needs to be, you know, overhauled. All of these things, and they are worried about some stupid fucking TikTok where you got people dancing and people doing fucking dumb shit. What? I don't understand. I guess I gotta be a politician to understand this, but You know, maybe I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Anybody that knows about this stuff, where's Geo? I need Geo in here. He knows about that stuff. I don't. I find it ridiculous. About the U.S. wanting to ban TikTok. Fucking paranoid. All right, King. We got you going here. Let us begin. Oh, this. Okay. Well, the reason. I mean, the reason why I do TikTok, why I'm trying to do TikTok as well, is obviously because of monetization. Because I told you, you guys are very much aware that I'm trying to make this my main source of income. Because this is kind of like my calling and my passion. So of course that helps, but the fight and the struggle won't be stopped if I can't use TikTok. I'll just continue on the other platforms. It's fine, but it just helps. But granted, I mean, like I said, it would be just less work on my end if you really want to be honest. If I'm really gonna be honest with you. So it's like whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Meta is very Meta has made everything very confusing to me. I think that the setup of it is not very user friendly, at least for people like me. Somebody that's not a person that's constantly on my phone, that's constantly involved with social media and sharing stuff and stuff like that, because I'm not. Because like I do it when I do this. That's when I share my stuff. I may scroll on Facebook. I scroll on Facebook a lot. Like when I wake up in the morning, I scroll on Facebook to watch some funny videos just while I'm waking up. Stuff like that. But actually getting involved, actually posting things, and getting involved in all these different social media. And now they got that Instagram thread thing that I'm seeing. I don't even know what that is. It's like Twitter. I've never even had a Twitter account in my whole life, and I'm never going to make one. Reddit, I don't go on there. I was suggested by two people, the closest people in my way. Go on, or well, actually, the one person didn't, but the other person like, yeah, Reddit this, Reddit that, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give that Reddit a try. Three things that I try to look up on Reddit. Forget it. Everything, all the information I found on there was completely outdated, years old. So I'm like, okay, why do I have this? This is not. Reddit in the beginning, when it first came out, was an entertainment thing too. It was more about like the memes, which back then we didn't call them memes, but it was more about funny stuff that was posted and such. And now it's become like this whole nother thing that I don't even know what the fuck is that. So I'm just like, I don't. I'm familiar with Facebook, the basics of Facebook, the basics of Instagram, um, and then that TikTok here, and what's the other thing? I'm barely able to like use Twitch. I needed a lot of help figuring it all out, and then I got Kick and all that stuff too. YouTube, I feel like YouTube is still one of the easier things to use. But Twitch is pretty good too. I really do enjoy Twitch. I think it's very, very user friendly. It's very much like the overview is good. It's well organized. Your dashboard and everything. You can find everything. I don't have to sit here and remember like, where was this again? Where can I find this again? It's pretty easy to maneuver. Yeah, but social media is just when I'm not doing this, my phone is texting back and forth. Facebook Messenger is my go-to because that is actually very easy to maneuver. I love Facebook Messenger versus all the other messengers, like even text message. I don't use text message, only with my brother. Um, but other than that, I use Messenger back and forth. It's easy. It's good to use for me, and that's it. Because I tell you guys that all the time. I'm a '90s girl. I live in the world, in the reality. I don't live in the virtual reality like that. That's not for me. That has never been. It was better in the beginning when this first started, when we first got AOL and we first got these chat rooms and stuff. It was pretty awesome because it was new for everybody. So now everybody. But now it's become such an influence that it has actually put more of a distance between people than it has brought them closer together. Back then it brought us closer together, and now it's pushing us further away because people rely on it to, they don't even want to leave their house anymore because they can just talk online. So they're like, oh, that's all the human connection I need is just texting a little bit, and means I don't have to be responsible for any effort in the friendship or whatever. And I'm just not on there. Like, I will be alone for the rest of my life probably. Like when it comes to friends like that, I have like two friends because that's I'm not in there. I don't determine friends over messages like that. I have to have a physical, connection. I have to see them. I have to hang out with them. Things like that. It's not, if it's not like that, then it's not. What is it? It's somebody you don't even know, really. You don't know anything about these people. So advancement in technology has mostly pros, of course, but some cons, and it's just about the social media. The social media is a little bit has a lot more cons you know than we think, I guess. Pain, like immobility, you're gonna have to specify that a little bit more, please. Because I mean, I do, but in certain areas of my body, my back or my feet. Everything else doesn't actually hurt. All right, King, let's get going. I know you've been waiting. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so we got general reading here. So let's see. Oh, good, 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 good. I like this. I like this. This is one of my favorite cards. Knight of Pentacles. Immediately, of course, giving me the understanding that this card is about you and your character traits. You're very ritualistic, mundane, which is, you know, it's not negative in a sense. You're persistent and you're methodical as well. So I think you had something similar. You're very much in reality. You work out plans generally in your life very well. Um, you have a daily routine. You like to stick with your routine. Um, and you're not a person that likes surprises and change a lot. Okay, so you're particular in that. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, yeah. Comes with this card. Comes with the territory. Four of Cups here. Yeah. So this just makes sense. Given the fact that you are this way in your life, with being the way you are, you get bored. Okay, in spite of material gain and material well-being, um, you you get bored. And it's kind of like pleasure in life is not really something that you have often. You have to really try oftentimes. Um, but however, it is good. It is good that you have the success. It's definitely success to but there's an apathy and a disappointment in your life a little bit, and like I said, boredom. I think has also to do, you're trying to find your partner and everything. So yeah, so a little bit bored in spite of your successful life generally. Yeah, okay. So that's the seven of swords here. Um, this is expressing a plan that you did not think through very well, unfortunately. Okay. And it didn't do you good. It was like an ill-conceived plan, and it led you to failure, unfortunately. Okay, it was a poor attempt. So we can I cannot know, but I think it is a particular situation that occurred to you or is occurring to you, maybe even currently, and it has you a little bit frustrated. Um, but when I look at the outcome here, in the end, it is pretty obvious that you have your life really in order. Everything is okay. It's just kind of like you're looking for the spark. You're looking for something, for a little bit more excitement and stuff like that. So that's something that you're stressing out about a little bit, I think. And yeah. So that concludes you here, King. And what? Okay, whoa, wait, what? Hold up your hands. Hold up my hands like this. Hold up my hands like this, or what? Both index fingers symmetrically. Symmetrically? Point them like this. Like this? Like this. I think you mean like this. Okay. Okay. 20 seconds. Okay. Okay. But what is that supposed to do? Cuz it's weird cuz I felt the tension in this hand, and then I moved slightly, and then it went away, and now it's in this hand. What the hell? so so what is that supposed to do? Because the tension is on top of my hand. I think it's been longer than 20 seconds now. The tension is here when I do it. Let me read that again before I fucking... Now feel how your good hands hold themselves, and which ways the tension is holding the different links in the fingers. I didn't really have any tension in my fingers. Then replicate the contraction of the overworked muscle so the tension pulls in the same way on the other hand and anchors itself in the same way. Yeah, I did follow these steps. Yes, I did do that. so what so like this. I do daily workouts. There's my guy. I do my cardio workout first for like 35 minutes, and then I do like 5-10 minutes, it depends, of workout of katas, in wushu kung fu katas. So I have a pretty, where of course you use your hands a lot and stuff. So it's and I use my hands every day. Working is this is where I have pain in all the time now. But I've been a waitress for such a long time that I guess my hands are like used to it or something. Oh, so I have to actually tense up my muscles when I do it, not just like a sloppy like this. I have to actually like tense my muscles when I do it. Is what you're saying, right? Like, so I have to like do this. Don't tense too much. Okay. Replicate the chain of links. I don't understand. To my neck. My neck hurts too. Actually, I have more pain than I thought. It's more like a tension, though. It's not really. Ah, there's the rain. It's more like a tension rather than a pain. Um, it's kind of the same. It feels the same, though. I don't know. I guess I'm not a good candidate for this shit or something. I don't know. I feel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all the same. I don't feel any tension at all. I'm like, I don't. Like I said, the only kind of tension I feel is a little bit here. But that's also because I'm doing this. Um, I don't really feel any tension. I don't know. I guess I must be doing it wrong. I don't know. The fuck? I was excited about that too, and it didn't work. It's so typical. It's fucking typical. Everybody's normal except for me. Oh, right here. Yeah. The pressure point. Yeah, I understand that. Mm, yeah, and then what? Ah, feels nice. Ah, feels real nice. It's a massage for my hands because I use my hands a lot. Ah, massaging hands is good. But you massage with this hand and then this hand starts cramping. That's another thing, cramping. My hands will cramp. Um, yeah, yeah. Remember I was an athlete for 10 years. And my dad was a pro athlete, so I know some of these things. Um, so I try to do them. I try to do them for like sometimes I'll do this. I'll be massaging my arm because I can feel that my circulation is not really good in my fingers. And then I'll be doing this, and it helps. These things help. My posture is always like this because I'm short, but I am also kind of hunched a little bit, and that's because of this. Oh, my back is so bad though. Ooh. So I've been trying to, cause I'm doing. I saw a couple of videos on this when I with my back and stuff. So, how he explained it was that being too much is not good for you either, and I am too much. Not when I sit. When I sit, I'm kind of like a little bit, but when I stand and when I walk, I'm always like this, like, and I think that is part of my back problem because I'm bending my back like this. You know what I mean? And it should be like this. So what I gotta do, and because I looked it up because of my sciatica pain. So what I've been consciously doing for like a year now or so is like adjusting my posture when I walk, not being so much like this, but a little bit more relaxed. It will really help. And when I do it, when I pay good attention to it, and I do it for a couple of days consecutively without forgetting about it, because it's easy to forget about it, I can feel a difference in my back. So I feel like a lot of my back problems has to do with my too much like this instead of a little bit more relaxed. Um, so but that's good. That's good anyway. Cheese leaf. I'm still gonna try this out at some point. Maybe just when I'm sitting maybe it's also because I'm sitting down like this or whatever. Distraction. It's not really kicking. It's not really working. But I'm gonna try it again at some point and see. Thank you for the advice. I always like stuff like that. Good advice to loosen my muscles, because I also have this thing because I have very broad shoulders. And I have, like I have muscle. I'm pretty muscly. Like this is muscle. This is not fat or anything. So I carry a lot. Like I think that's another reason why my shoulders are always like tensed up and my neck is always fucking tensed up, because I got so much like I don't know. That's how I feel. I want to lose weight here in the neck area. Oh, okay. That's a cool idea. Nope, not even gonna do this. Yeah, and then the rain stops. Damn it. That's ridiculous. That's not enough for my plants. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I know what, like, for me it's really like I I need like a visit to the chiropractor to a one time visit, once a year or something, and I need a full body massage, and then I think I'll be good for another 35 years. You know what I mean? It's like that. If I just get like a good full body massage, a thing at the chiropractor, and then I'll be good to go for 20 years. Because I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm holding up well, I think. All right, I know we got Savvy still waiting here, but oh man, I burnt the roof of my mouth yesterday. Oh man, that should hurt. Oh. Oh, wow. This is a very intriguing dream there, Savvy. We're going to find out about that. The other day, I think I told you guys about that. I did a foot bath. Although it did not really help my problems, my pain in my feet, because my feet are like, there's nothing wrong with the skin or anything like that. My feet are fine, but it's just, it's pain in my heels and stuff, and I think it's that bone spurs. I think that's what it's called, bone spurs, and it hurt. It's very painful, especially when you sit for a long time and then you get back up. That's when it really hurts. I took the foot bath and it felt really good. It felt like it was helping me in some way, but it did not. It did not really help the bone spurs, if that's what it is. Yeah. Grab my ears, like grab them like this or something, or push on them. Uh, oh, maybe. Uh, uh, oh, I feel like that almost. Oh, I feel like almost that's doing something. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Mm, mm. Ah, yeah, okay, okay. Okay, that just kind of caused pain in here, but maybe that's a good thing too, right? Because it's opening up or something. Ooh, ay, ay, ay. Ah. You're trying to kill me, cheese leaf. No, I'm just kidding. We are. What is this? I love these emails. They're so funny. I relax. I relax. I mean, sitting in front of, but that's the thing. Like, I really kind of, and I hate saying it like this, but I do to some degree suffer from very strong anxiety. So it's like, even when I sit still and I watch a show or something, and I'm sitting on the couch in a comfortable position, I'm still not relaxed. The only time I'm relaxed is when I'm actually meditating. And I haven't done that in a while because I've been super stressed out. Um, Breathing is the final solution. Yeah, see, that's something that relates to meditation, the breathing. Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. This reminds me a lot of what I read in the book The Urban Monk. He spoke of this. He even spoke of the fact that it's helpful for some people to fast for like a day or two for no religious reason, just to really not even like nothing, eat nothing for a day or two, because your body then can rid itself of built up like metals in your body and things. Well, I guess the metals in your body, they can't ever really leave, but other toxins in your body, if you do that, then and then you can also do like, there's different types of fasting. You can do like a couple of days where you just drink water and you don't eat anything, or you can switch it up, but he really explained it in detail why it's helpful, and that book was a great addition to my library because it helped me a lot, and things. It gave me a lot of hints on what can be of good value to do for your body. Yes, that's true. I for me, I think I've told you guys that too. for me, I can. Nah, he didn't mean it like that. Cheesy. Uh, I think it was just to add information. Like I said the other time, for me, it is very much so that my fatigue is less, way less when I drink like a viable amount of water, whichever that is. I just try to drink as much as I can, and then I can feel my energy levels go up. And I looked it up one time because I was like, let's see. And I did look it up, and it did say that it is one of the common symptoms of dehydration is fatigue, which I suffer from pretty much all the time. Now I do know I have a bad sleeping schedule and stress and stuff like that too, but I do think that I am kind of messing myself up by not. That's so weird. This little light here. What the hell is that? Is that from the video? Oh no, that's a reflection. Okay. By not drinking enough water, and it's always been my flaw. When I was a teenager, I swear to you, I drank nothing but soda. Always just soda. My mom was like, you gotta stop drinking so much soda all the time. And I was not like, I'm 35 now, right? So when I'm like 16, I'm smaller, right? I'm not, as, but this really came when I got into my late 20s, and it's pretty much like I filled out as a woman, the womanly figure came in. Let's put it that way. I've never been obese or really like extremely overweight or anything like that. But I just like soda. They were literally like liter, because in Germany we have liter soda bottles, and they're really hard plastic. They're like as like super hard plastic. It's weird. Not like that flimsy shit here in the U.S. You can't crush them with your hand. You cannot. Yeah. So there was literally like empty Coke bottles all over my room, and my mom got so mad at me. And I'm not a dirty person, or like I don't let shit just fly around like that. That's not me. But that bottle thing, because I was so bad about just drinking soda so much, it was everywhere. These bottles were everywhere. And my mom's boyfriend came in and said, "What are you doing? Why do you have so many soda bottles everywhere?" I'm like, I don't know. Fucking crazy. I don't know. And now I drink soda, here and there. I'm going through a phase right now. Been drinking soda for the last 3 days, but I only drink like half a little bottle of soda, watch the sugar intake. But I can also tell I have been eating less chocolate. It's weird because my body automatically does adjusts. If I eat chocolate, I don't drink any soda. And I don't do it consciously. Now I've been drinking soda for the past 3 days, and so I'm not eating chocolate because, like, I guess my sugar intake is satisfied, and so my brain is not telling me eat chocolate because I had my half of soda. That's good. That's almost 20 grams of sugar there. 5 more grams, and I have exceeded my sugar intake for the day, because we're only supposed to take in 25 grams of sugar a day. Everything else is over the limit, and we take over the limit all the time. But I try to watch that because sugar has multiple bad things. Sugar raises your blood pressure, not that much, but it can. Sugar is a calorie factor. It turns into empty calories, and that's how you gain weight. And of course, it's also prone to diabetes, so I don't want to get there. I may have been really in danger back then, but luckily enough, I just when I moved to the U.S., it was kind of, the soda thing kind of fell away slowly. Well, there was a time where somebody said, "Oh, I lost so much weight. I didn't drink soda for a year, and I lost so much weight." And I did that, and I said, "Oh, okay." So I cut off. I didn't drink soda for a whole year, and nothing changed. Nothing changed. I stayed the same weight. Nothing changed, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" But ever since then, it's I guess this obsession with soda, this maybe addiction, I don't know, is just kind of fucking not really there. All right, let's see, Savvy, if we can get on with this dream thing. I really want to know about that. Oh, I like this. This is good. This is good. This is good. Knight of Cups here. Okay, so I think this is. I think this is directly about your dream. Yeah, it's talking about romance, romantic, and someone who offers new ideas to a situation, an offer of opportunity. So I'm thinking that maybe this encounter that you had with Shiva, or even the dream, maybe both, maybe a bit of both, was one of, yeah, I mean, of course, it was a revelation. I'm sure you already realized that anyway. But it was more like it's, yeah, an offer of new ideas is a good way because it has triggered you to open up more, to open your head more to your situation, I guess. Maybe on a spiritual level, but definitely very good. It's a guiding. It's something is really guiding you into the right direction of, you know, find pretty much finding everything that you need. Okay, so it's good. It's very good. Yeah, romantic, someone who offers new ideas to a situation, an offer of opportunity. So opportunity at hand as well. Good, very good. Oh. Mhm. Six of Pentacles inverted. Now we do know that that the Pentacles is usually related to finances, right? Is related to your financial status and stuff like that. But I think in this scenario, because sometimes we have to interpret it and understand it from a different angle because it may not apply or fit in that situation. So this is about hoarding. This is about hoarding wealth, um, and selfishness and mishandled finances. But I'm almost thinking that it's not about your finances. I'm thinking it is about your your spirit. You're not really wanting to spread it out like you used to. You want to keep it in a little bit more. You want to keep it in to yourself for yourself, um, before you let it all go out again. You're hoarding it to yourself because you're a little bit afraid that things may turn in a certain direction that you don't want it to. So you're just kind of holding back. Okay, you're not sharing much. I feel like you're sharing less information with people and stuff like that than you may have in the past. You're more cautious about your spiritual situation. I think that's what it means. And when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about humans. You know, I'm thinking that your spirituality, when it comes to entities, when it comes to the realms, you're getting more involved there and more away from humanity in that sense. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. All right, new card. Oh, good. Very good. We're getting back on the good side. Oh, my we got the Two of Pentacles here. So this one is about balancing priorities. You're doing very well. You're very balanced right now in what you're doing in your life. You have your priorities set in the right place, and there's balance and harmony with effort, of course, but you're handling multiple situations at the same time, and you're doing a good job with it. So you're having everything under control, even in a playful way. You can still slip that in there too. So I like that card too. I'm starting to always think that this is one of my favorite cards too, because I like the design of it. Because it's like a little different than I don't know. But I do think that that Knight of Cups here is the crucial card. Um, I think also that with this card, that this is a sign not just of your revelation that you had now recently, but a sign that there's more to come, okay? And to stay vigilant and to stay open to it. So I'm thinking there's more to come as long as you're open to it, which of course I'm pretty sure you are. But very good, very good reading, very clear reading. I think it makes sense. I hope I hope you're able to resonate with it. Yeah, man, we've been having some slow streams the last 3 times. Um, might take an early evening again tonight because it's been rather slow. It's weird. But I'm sure soon people will be back in my stream. I can only hope. Where's unconfirmable anyway? I know Promethean is at an event, so I know that she cannot be here. Oh, I'm glad she's getting out. That's nice. Oh, where's my Christian friend unviewed videos? That was funny. I had fun there. Yeah, but I might be hopping off now, guys, since it's slower. But I'm coming back tomorrow. I did all my chores today except for folding my clothes. So all I have to do is fold my clothes tomorrow, and then I can be here. So I might come in early because I do like those early streams. I like coming in, when it's still light out. It's fun to me. So yeah. But I do want to thank everybody that was here. Thank you, Cheese Sleep. Thank you, so you. I see there's somebody else, but they're not saying anything, so I don't know who that is. So I do want to thank. Oh, and King was in here. Yep. Yeah, to get Parvati, you need to become Shiva. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. It is true. For a long time I did not really agree with the whole, what goddess aligns with you or what God aligns with you, because I was always like, I was reluctant to this, as a basic, as my fundamentals kind of, Satanist, that's what it was for the longest time until I get more familiar with, things like ancestor worship. I don't like using that term, but it is true that it gives an underlying boost to your to what your spiritual outlet is when you can align. I I guess I always thought it was forceful to align yourself with something, or having to find somebody, one of those entities that you closely, relate to. But then upon researching, you know, ancestors and these type of things, it fell into place just how it was told to me that it was going to, but I never really believed it. But that's why I have told I've told you guys that I closely align with Freya, also known as Froya, because there are just many similarities between me and her that I can say, okay, I think this may be an actual, because these Germanic gods and goddesses, they were ancestors. They were people. They were put on record. Stories about these people. So and Freya belonged to the clan of the Vanir. So I quickly realized that that is where my ancestry stems from. and that is not so much of a supernatural thing to me. I don't really view it that way. I really do believe that all of these people, you know, these were not just fairy tales that came from nothing. I think that all of these people existed, including probably Jesus and everything. And I think that, like I said, throughout time, things just got really blown out of proportion. You know, so because you can see, when you can actually see actual written runic records of the Scandinavian peoples, for instance. Of course, I can always really only speak on that because that's where I'm more versed than any of the other peoples in the world. Maybe I'm good with the Incas a little bit. Why do I keep saying it like that? It's wrong. Anyway, so I don't want to be too when I don't know about something. But when you look at inscriptions and stones and stuff like that in monuments throughout Scandinavia, you can see an approach that is more objective and more realistic and factual than you can see in the written stories. And we know that the written stories of the Edda and such, they were written a lot later, and they were actually put on record by a lot of Christian monks and such. So the how reliable are the sources now? Most of these monks actually strove to keep an authenticity to the stories, but it is common knowledge that a lot of the stuff we have to approach cautiously because it was written then later on by the Christians. What remains are stories that, purity in stories were the stories that were passed down, you know, vocally, throughout thousands of years. So we can know that there was a more realistic standpoint that our people had, or that my people had, than what is often depicted in the stories and such. But it is a very common thing for us Europeans to decorate stories in such a crazy way, and oftentimes violent, very violent, and very morbid too for the outside people. For us, it's normal. We grew up with these stories. I literally was told stories like these as a child. And of course, it is kind of, instead of, that is in a way, that's kind of the way the disciplinary ways work in Europe, is more with these type of things. We do not enjoy physical violence toward our children in order to discipline. That is not really a common thing in Europe that is used, but rather, see, now my back is, but rather, you know, instill morals in them by kind of like, maybe giving them a little bit of a scare. That is how I was raised. I've told you guys about those stories before. Hey, Scooby, how are you? Yeah, and Savvy, it's the same. It's the same for Germanic paganism, in a sense. People have now, it has become to the point where historians and stuff, they will call it a religion, but it was never intended as such. It was just something. It was a common cultural thing in my culture. It was a tradition to realize that, when one of your loved ones passed on, one of your family members passed on, this is your ancestor, and they're all around you all the time. You know, and it also needs to be understood more that, when it comes to, looking at the different gods, and how people say, yeah, okay, the pagans, they worshipped the gods, but it wasn't so much like it. We didn't It was not comparable to, for instance, Christianity. In Christianity, in monotheism, it's oftentimes Now this God has become your own personal God, and he makes decisions for your own personal life, but it's still the God of all people. That's not really, that doesn't make sense. That's not really how that works. Now, when you look at how I talked about Freya, for instance, she's one of my ancestors. So, if you think about it that way, if the ancestor or this God then would be actually, we're just gonna say, is actually manipulating your fate and manipulating energies and whatever else, then it would align with that Freya particularly would do that for me because I am a descendant of hers. So that makes sense. Okay, I can understand that, but it does not make sense when you say Jesus. Jesus, and he's for everybody. It's not really. I don't know. I find it a little strange, and also it was also understood that the gods weren't always so personally responsible for everything that happened to us, right? It was more from a distance, and it was accepted as such. First of all, it was understood that they were responsible for bigger things, not just the personal little lives of people. They, you know, it was fate. Fate is always the biggest thing. Um, so there was, it's weird. We were closer to them because we accepted them and understood them as our ancestors, or understand, I should say, what I'm talking about now. But on the other hand, we were a little bit more distant because we also, our ancestors, our gods, never made these rules upon us either. It was a part of the way of life. Just like anybody nowadays says, oh, grandma and grandpa in heaven, and they're looking down on you. It's the same. It's the same. That is called ancestor worship right there. That's what you're doing right in that moment, is what you're doing. And it is a very pagan tradition. It is not, of Christian origin. You know, so people don't understand that when the definition of the word paganism is really just doing whatever you will. That's why pagans are also referred to as heathens, Heiden in German, because that's another thing. It's about you do as you will. Um, there is no specific, because when we speak about paganism, we speak about all of the cultures all over the world that worshipped their old gods back then. That's paganism everywhere. It's not just in Scandinavia. It's everywhere. Hinduism is a little bit different. There's branches, I guess. I mean, you know that better than I. But yeah. So people take it to a weird level. That's why it is always important to me to keep the authenticity. That's why I did enjoy watching that show Vikings, for instance. It was shown on the History Channel. That's where it aired. And I was very skeptical when I first heard of the show. I was like, no, this is fucking like, come on, man, this is poser shit. I'm like, this is gonna be. But I watched it in its entirety, and of course, it is still Hollywood, and it is still a lot of stuff in there that, the braids in the hair always looked awesome, always great. That was not a common thing. The braids in the hair was not something that was actually documented. That was not something that actually happened like this. It was, people back in those days were workers, were people that were in the field. Oh, there's your redeemed hydration there, Scooby. So it was all about holding the hair back. That was the main concern. It had nothing to do with trying to put all these braids, and they didn't have time for all that shit. These people were working people with farms and farm animals and etc. They didn't have time to do all that shit. But of course, it's Hollywood. You got to make this aesthetically pleasing for the people so you can get viewers. Blah blah blah. But when it comes really to the fundamentals of the show, it was not too bad. It was not super far off. of the stories that you read, of how people were, even I think, yeah, aesthetically they did a good job, replicating how people lived back then. The accuracy of the violence is probably very accurate, because we do have to understand that these people were, I mean, maybe some will think this is an insult, but they were kind of highly advanced, like cave people, if you will. Like it was sophisticated. You know, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. I don't know how to put it best, but sophisticated, like cave people in a sense. So there was still, the mentality was not as evolved as we are now, when it comes to violence, when it comes to these type of things. But they were very sophisticated for their time, shipbuilders, even how they built their homes. They were able to have literally fire pits inside their houses because of the architecture and the construction, the way they constructed houses. Very sophisticated. Where when you think about it, at the same time, you had the native Indians in America that lived in tents. Where our Viking ancestors, they had built homes. Really. So very sophisticated for their time. But you still had traditions, and I'm a person very much about tradition. I will not, like, there's been a few years now where I was standing there almost on my own, following a tradition and investing hours and hours of time into like decorating my home or whatever, and I was shunned. Nobody was gonna be there around me. Nobody's was gonna come and celebrate this tradition. I don't care. I will follow that till the end. I don't care, because that's how you uphold your connection with your ancestors, and also how you pass that on, if you ever have kids on your own, to your descendants. And you won't, because that is the only way you will ever live or be in this reality in any shape, way, or form again, is by somebody having you in their heart and speaking of you to other people. And as soon as they do that, the other person automatically, subconsciously, opens up something in their brain, and they have you in their brain, and they see an image of you in their brain. This is how you are still alive after you die. So it's like there were traditions that were very unorthodox. For instance, how the berserkers, which I also know that we know that Freya did not fall under any of those berserkers, but I do understand that my ancestry also stems from a berserker. I am not sure who. I would have to do more research on that, but it is very clear, because the more you learn about yourself and the more you educate yourself, the more you see things that are very parallel, and then you realize, this is why I am this way. Many people, because they don't do they always wonder, what's my purpose? Why am I like that? Why are people like this to me? Why is this happening? Blah blah blah. Why do I find myself here? Look up, if you don't know, because I know in America it's difficult. In America, it's exactly, Savvy. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's difficult. It's simple. Like, for instance, for Savvy Nights, it's kind of easier because, in the country where you're from, it is like there is not medley. In Germany, it's all Germans, and same in your countries, Indians. so it's like now in America you find people, and young, because America is only like about 300 years old. So just a couple of 100 years ago, Americans' ancestors, they came from other countries. So it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult for Americans to determine where does their ancestry lie. But it's nowadays you have I mean, you have to spend a little bit of money, maybe a couple $100 or something. But if you really want to know, if you really want to find out stuff about yourself and figure out where you kind of fit in the world, and what resonates with you and relates with you and where you feel comfortable, do it. Invest in this ancestry thing, and find out stuff about yourself. I think it can be very helpful for you. um, you know but for me, it was just always easy, because as far back as I can know, like at least my great grandmother, that's as far as back information I have on my ancestry. I know German on my mom's side and Serbian on my father's side. Now, it is good to maybe do, find out more, to be able to determine other things about myself that I'm unsure about. I don't have the money right now, but if I ever do, I will definitely invest, because I really want to know. Because I don't know why, but I've had this little weird hunch that I may have some Jewish thing there too. I don't know why. I've had this feeling. I don't know why, for a while now. So I really want to figure that out. But yeah, so that's how I view this. I look at all of these things in a very, sober way. I'm not a person that sits there and it's like, oh, in a joke I say it, but I think it's less true. I think it's only true once in a while in a weird way. But like looking in the sky and say, oh, I see a thunderstorm and the thunder and the lightning, it's Thor, it's Thor. There has to be something actually of supernatural origin happening in some other way than just a thunderstorm, right? There has to be a vision that appears to me, or there has to be a feeling, or there has to be something visually, or something that goes along with it, for me to say, okay, so this may have been of some sort of otherworldly thing, some sort of energetic or spiritual origin, right? I can't just sit here and say a thunderstorm is Thor. Now that is kind of how our ancestors were, a little bit, because the superstition, of course, still held more weight, than it does nowadays, because we are more somber, more sober, more crucially thinking people in that sense. We have understood, because we have applied science to many of these phenomena that our ancestors couldn't explain. We have now applied science, so that's kind of like, oh, okay, it wasn't something supernatural, but it is good, because that's what we want. We don't want to live in a delusion, But in my 35 years, I've seen so many things that are unexplainable, that I know I've done things that are unexplainable, made them happen that are unexplainable. Like, I've seen other people do things that are unexplainable, and they're not yet explainable. They will be, but we can then know. The signs have to be clear, and I've told you guys many times that the actual signs are far and few in between, and they have to be, like in a court of law, how they say, what is it, beyond the doubt, right? What is that? How do they say it all the time? Oh, shit, I forget it. Beyond reasonable doubt. Has to be beyond reasonable doubt. Like, reasonable doubt is not even, it cannot actually apply to that. It's more like beyond, not any. You have taken this totally apart, dissected it, analyzed it, and you can sit here and say, it's impossible, as of in that moment, that could be of any explanation. This was of a supernatural occurrence, and how many times does that happen? Not many times. So, and that's where, that's You gotta make sure, because if not, then now you're just fucking delusional. You know what I mean? Like I tell you guys all the time, people always think they're hexed, they're cursed, there's a sign and everything. You know, and it is interesting because you, I thought about this the other day, actually. Oh, thank you, Scooby. Thank you. That's nice of you. Brahmin, Hindu priest. Yeah, but it's different though, because it wasn't some guy in the Middle East that was fucking like like, I don't know. It's different. Like I said, I read the Vedas. It's very different than the Christian faith or the Muslim faith, for instance. Those are just the two, problematic faiths, I should say, that are very hypocritical and contradictory. It is understandable having a connection with something. It is not understandable to be hypocritical with these things. And that's also why I really enjoy the teachings and the stories of my ancestors when you read them in the Osatru Edda. It is really stories. It is not. It is more of a showcase to tell you how did our gods act, how did our ancestors act, and giving us an example on how they succeeded and how they were defeated, depending on how they acted. And again, it's for a moral compass, right? It's a suggestion. You want to be a warrior that goes to Valhalla when you die, you better fight the battle. You do not give up, because if you give up, you're not going to go to Valhalla. You're going to go to hell. And then it will be determined. You go to the thing. It's called the thing, literally. Thing is what the name of it is called. You go to the thing. It's like the judgment. And then it will be determined. Will you be reborn? Will you stay there? Be a laborer? Will you go into the halls of Valhalla and awaken every day and fight a battle under Odin every day, and then drink meat and ale at the end of the night? It will be determined. All metaphorical. It doesn't happen like that, because we do not exist in a mortal shell. But it's gonna be shiny. I know this. I can feel it. It's gonna be shiny wherever we go. Shiny shit will be there. I don't know. I have this thing. I don't know. But shiny and big. I don't know. It's weird. But and nobody is telling you what to do. Nobody is telling you what to do at all. And a wise man once told me, doesn't matter whether you believe in the gods or you believe in whatever. The gods, they choose you. That was I really enjoyed that, because and it can be much of a curse. And we can sit here and we can cuss at our ancestors and cuss at our gods. I do it a lot. I cuss at them. I said, where are you when I need you? No one here. They're not doing anything. Nobody's here. And it's like, you want to think they're somewhere laughing, but it's like, well, I can do whatever I fucking want. That's why I'm a heathen. I'm a hater, right? Because I can do whatever I want. I'm not condemned to eternal hell. I hate that. It's so stupid. It's so idiotic. Just to herd people. It's to herd people like fucking sheep. And they admit that too. The Lord's my shepherd. Yeah, okay, good. I'm the dog. I'm the border collie that chases you into your enclosure. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Oh no, that's God right there. That's God. That's what God does. For what? I don't understand. It's bizarre because there's really no reason for it, but it's just I guess people lack morality. But when you really look at it, there's nobody actually goes by those morals, and when they do, like I said, it's hypocrisy, fucking galore, always. You know, also outdated, written 2,000 years ago. You know, it's like a man shall not lay with a man. Well, guess what? It's happening. What are you gonna do now, God? You're gonna condemn all of us now? You know, babies are born. You don't believe in God, baby. You're condemned to hell. What? The baby doesn't know. Leave it alone. Odin? Not Odin. Baby's gonna say, I want knowledge. Odin say, well, you know, take your eye out. Throw it in the well. That's how you get knowledge. But he wouldn't do it for you. He's not gonna torture you. You do that yourself. You want something? You gotta sacrifice. That's how it is. Fuck's sake. I know. Oh, okay. Wait, sorry. Oh yeah, Abrahamic is totally different from Vedic religions. Totally different. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that. I read the Vedas and I was immediately understood. Like, oh, okay, this is on a higher level. Like when you guys speak of God, it is not so limited. It's not limited. It is, you know, it incorporates everything, you know, and that makes it already different, because when you speak about the Christian or the Muslim God, it's very limited, you know. It's very much about things that don't belong in there. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain. I don't know if that made sense. No, but it's okay. It's totally okay, Savvy, because it's emotions. It's human emotions, and you're trying to still get used to all of this. As long as you're conscious about it very quickly, and that's good. As long as you keep that up, it will become like a muscle memory where you don't have to, remember. It will come automatically that you're not gonna get like that. You know. A set of gods. They don't. Yeah, of course they fight among each other, just like people, because the gods, they were people once, and then when they die, they become gods. And exactly, also justice. Very. The older I get, the more I realize that justice is very subjective. So is evil and good is subjective. Positive and negative, subjective. Well, positive and negative, when it comes into like physical terms or whatever, but when it comes to like like psychologically and stuff like that, mentally, emotionally, positive and negative, subjective. What I do like is about the lady from the Adams family, I guess she said, it was something, do not quote me, but it was something along the lines of, what is chaos to a fly is perfect for the mosquito, or some shit like that. And that's exactly it. That's why I like to refer to this stuff. Hey, Zagros. You're just chilling, cheese sleep. Yeah, that's why I like to refer to things rather as constructive and non-constructive. Senpai Cyan. Oh, wow. Over 5,000. No, wait a minute. That wasn't. What was that again? It was over 9,000, I think he said. Sorry about that. Home to the spider. Thank you, Eno. There it is. Was chaos to the fly, home to the spider. Right. So, thank you for following, by the way, Senpai. So when I give readings and stuff, I like to talk about, constructive or non-constructive or deconstructive, depending, which would be destructive, but it's not destructive because it's not actively, aggressively destroying, but it's just kind of taking it more slowly apart is deconstructive, right? That's how I fucking make up these words. Or non-constructive is when it's just nothing going on, and then constructive is when something is happening, right? Valuable, non-valuable, right? Because it is different for everybody. Justice is a perfect example. Justice is so delicate because I'm a person that's for justice. Always. Like if I see somebody getting hurt, if I see somebody getting treated like shit by somebody, I am going to say something. I'm going to do something. Like I cannot see injustices in front of me, especially fucking with animals. No way. That's why I don't watch these violent animal videos and stuff. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I can't. Because I can't do anything. I can't do anything to help this creature. So anyway, yeah, like I said, the older I get, the more I realize that these morals that are supposed to be in these books and stuff, it's not. No. You either have morals embedded in you that are certain fundamental morals that are just that the way you've been with those certain fundamental morals, you've always been. I can know that a certain feeling in me with when it comes to morality, feeling bad for somebody, feeling like I want to help somebody or protect somebody, certain things have always remained the same in me. They've always been there since I can remember. Now, is this parents teaching you? Probably a portion, but I think it is part of our spirit that is infused into the fetus, however that stuff works. The consciousness that is born, that is thriving in there, in that body, and it's just there. It comes from another place that is not taught. And if you're a fucking rapist or you're even murder is something that has to be considered, because when it is in self-defense, then is it self-defense, right? But you still have done this. You know what I mean? There's still now rape, for instance. There's nothing. There is nothing. That person lacks a complete humane spirit in any way. If you were to open them up and look inside, it's black. There's nothing in there. Spiritually, I mean. Yeah. That. And everything else, I think, is very subjective. Is situational and is subjective. I've learned that because my moral compass was so strong, like no murder, no death, da 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 da. But the more you observe over the years, the more you learn, the more you read, the more you realize that because you encounter more situations, you encounter more variety of different situations, and it becomes more like I have to rethink that there. You know what I mean? Let me read what you guys. Sorry, I'm blabbering on. This is good though. Yeah, cheesy. Exactly. That's this fundamental feeling of morality, I guess. Whatever that is. Well, you can still talk to her, Savvy. Don't just be moderate. Don't. You shouldn't just cut yourself off like that. But I think it's very normal reaction to feel this way. You too, Cheese Sleeve. Thank you so much for coming, for giving me these hints. Appreciate you. Okay, that's it. I thought there was more, but and then there's more. Alright, our Family Guy. And then come on, and then there's more. Come on. Come on, rain. Come on. It's not enough rain. I don't want to have to water my plants tomorrow. Alright, wow. Okay. Well, wait. So, how can such tell me what is it that you would like to ask about? Besides that, you almost fell into a barrel today, didn't you? Did you? Did you? Mixing up your whiskeys and shit, you almost fell into a barrel. You did? Ding! That's a psychic. That was actually, if he's telling the truth by saying he did, then, because I saw it in my head. I saw it. I said almost. Well, at first I said you did, but nah. I mean, come on. As close that I even came up with the thought in the first place. 100% credit. Come on now. I do that at work all the time. I guess people's drinks that have never been in the restaurant. They look at me and they look at me so astonished. I love it. They're like, how did you know that? And I'm like, I'm just good like that. I read minds. It's my job. And then everybody laughs. I'm funny. No, I do shit like that too, where it's like, when the ladies are almost done eating and shit, I'm like, I go up to the table and I do this. It's funny. That's funny. The first one is real. Like that really happens all the time. But this one, what I'm about to say is a joke. But I go up to the table and I stand there and they look at me. What is she doing? And I'm like, I see in my near future takeout boxes. And they're like, how did you get? Yeah, that's funny. But they like it. They like it, so I do it. You know, whatever. It's fucking. All right. Now, oh my god, my phone better not fucking die. Zagros wanted the historical metaphysical fact. I have to think about that. I have to dwell on that for a moment. Yeah, that's what he does for a living. He makes these liquor. Canadian. Definitely Canadian. What is that metaphysical fact? I mean, well, let me think on that. Let me Savvy, yeah, I'm reading. Yes, because that. Oh my god, it took me years to. If I would have realized that at the same age that you're realizing that now already, You have no idea how much better off I would have been. I am so glad to know that you get that already at your age now. I was about fucking like 28, 29 when I realized this. It's horrible. It's really awful. Yes, it's very true, because what you're doing is you're like subconsciously and subsequently, by doing what you're doing for yourself, you're manifesting this energy that works as an electromagnetic field, and it's coming to you, because you, I think it's also determined through your fates, because it's destined for you to like comprehend and execute your own battles in life, and focus on that and make that your priority, because everything else will come in due time. Forcing anything is never, and forcing may be a strong word, but for lack of a better term, forcing anything is never, it doesn't work. And I'm not saying I forced anything, but I was always so hopeful and always so stressed and filled with anxiety, when, especially when it was relationships. I never showed it, but it was in me. It was always like this internal struggle. And then when the years, as I got older, then I realized I was like, and my mother also like, focus on your on yourself, leave the guys alone, don't think about that, and when I finally was like, all right, I'm just gonna like really let it go, and then fucking, I mean, in no time, it was virtually overnight, everything like fell into that place, like that, and how I wanted it to be, pretty much, and it was like, whoa, okay, I guess I should have done that years ago. Let me look over there. Let me think. Blank. My brain is blank. Got one. Looked at my African mask. Thinking it's just like a replica mask. And I'm assuming it's African. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said force is lack of better, for lack of better term. But yes, exactly. So, metaphysical fact. The Inca, well, first of all, oftentimes they had what? They had many of these mummy bundles, that is what they refer to, and they would, what it is they would, somebody would pass away, and they would make them kind of in a fetal position and sit them up with like their hands around their legs pulled up to their chest, and then that's how they bound them. And they did mummifications on them. It's actually said that the Andean people did mummifications on their their dead ancestors even before the Egyptians. Okay, but one of the things that I found very interesting what they did in a ritualistic manner is that the mummy bundles oftentimes were for people that were of a higher rank, right? People that were considered like priests or shamans, things like that. Sometimes also the wealthier people, because wealth was a big deal in their times, in their civilization, because they were one of the first people to figure out how to use irrigation systems properly, because they had to do it because of the high altitudes in those areas as well. They had to be able to really know how to maneuver this the right way. They were also the first ones that were more of a like socialistic society, because they had actual warehouses like we have today, where they would gather food for all the peoples, and the civilizations were as big as 10,000 to 20,000 people, which is, now considered a smaller city, right? But that would be the whole civilization. And they were very good about trading from the mountains down to the bottom. So excavations was fun for a lot of archaeologists, because they would discover shells and stuff like that from the peoples on the shoreline in like Peru and stuff, going up to the people in the mountains. You would find shells because of the trading, right? Now, um, they had pretty much no hallucinogenic foods up there, like mushrooms or plants or anything like that, like the different cacti or whatever. So you would find them there still, also because of trade and back and forth, right? Really interesting thing. But the metaphysical thing is, when the regular burials happened, it was a common thing to put a mask over the dead person's face. A mask, I think, usually made out of clay or ceramic, however they did it, and then they would have a hole poked into the mask, which symbolized that through this hole the spirit can exit the body and go back to the sun god, Viracocha, the creator god. I always found, and they showed pictures, in the book, in the textbook that I read this. They showed pictures of it, and it's really cool. How they designed those masks to. They have the holes in different positions. I guess it may depend on how the person lived their life or whatever. They could have it maybe over their eye or something, or over their mouth, over their nose, or even here. Yeah, so it depended, but I did find it. Yeah, I'm doing it now, Hawkinsuch. Sorry. I gave the metaphysical fact. So, yeah. I found that pretty interesting, Yeah, Women's Day. It was International Women's Day, yeah. Interesting. Ooh, now the rain's really here. I love it. All right, Hawkinsuch. Let's get her going. Ah. Actually, kind of funny now that I'm thinking about you almost falling into the barrel. Page of Wands. Look at him on his stilts here. Um, you're very good at finding solutions. Okay, you're very good at you're a problem solver. This especially is talking about ingenuity and even genius, if you will. So you're very good at thinking things through. It's creative thinking. So you're very good at creatively thinking and solving problems. So this is helping you always, because to me, it feels like you find yourself in tricky situations almost constantly, and you always have a really good way on going about them and around them. Okay, moving forward. Oh, like the Five of Swords here. Not, I don't like it. I don't think it's you. I think it's somebody else. But it's not somebody that's a cheat and somebody dishonorable. I don't even know if I showed this in this camera now. Somebody dishonorable. Okay. Somebody uses unfair tactics and they're cruel and they do enjoy the suffering of others. A braggart. Um, that is somebody that's either going to come into your energy soon or already is in your energy, and they're bothering you because of their attitude and because how they are. They're really ruthless and they have no they really don't like anybody but themselves, and they do everything to just for profit, and they don't care what happens after it. So this is somebody that you see frequently, either at your job or at home, or with friends or something like that. But definitely somebody that has infected your energy in a non-constructive way, or in a deconstructive way, I should say. Yeah, yeah, and that second thought, exactly. Yeah, that's good though. You're training your brain. You're training your brain in a good way. You're honing your brain, I should say. You're yeah. Um, your maturity is trying to come through, and that's good. That's good. All right, next card happens. Yes. However, this person here, judgment. This means this person will be held accountable for their ill deeds, if you will. And also, this is talking about awakening and new beginnings. So I think that whenever this goes down, it will open up new beginnings. Yeah, it will open up new beginnings for you, and it will be like an awakening for you. Maybe it will be, you can take a breather when this person is no longer there. So looks like doing good. Just a little disruption here with this person. But all in all, very good reading for you, Huck and such. Love it. Um, you think things through very well, and yeah, your outcome good. Okay, that concludes you. Yeah, yeah, guys. I think it's time for me. What a good stream. Remember how I was so worried in the beginning, but then you all came. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, guys. Oops, it says Huckabee. But I am quite tired now. So I think I'm gonna hop off, guys. But I'm very grateful for everybody that came. A good stream. I'll be back tomorrow for sure. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be on for longer tomorrow. So turn on your notifications and come visit me tomorrow. I will be here probably way earlier. I'm hoping that nothing stops me this time. Um, but yeah, I want to thank everybody that was here. I want to thank Huck and Saj. I want to thank Senpai for following. I want to thank Savvy. Great contribution. Thank you, Cheesley, for all this helpful information. I keep thinking about it. It's like in the back of my head now. Thank you, Zagros. Thank you, Eno. Yay! Thank you. And I think, oh, and Scooby was here too. Thank you so much, Scooby. Very awesome. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, and King, of course. King was here first. King is always first. You guys gotta do better. King is always up in here right away. I love it. Thank you for that, King. Yeah, but thank you so much, guys. Really good talk here at the end. I think exactly what we're supposed to be talking about. That, well, you're still being mentioned. Doesn't matter. Even if you just put one thing in the chat, I'm gonna mention your name. But I'm telling you guys, if I ever become a famous influencer, a lot of people always say I don't like being called an influencer. I like being called an influencer because I like influencing you people to do the right thing. Okay. So I'm happy to be called an influencer, but I'm just fucking just saying. If I ever do become like a big influencer, have like thousands of people in here, I'm not expecting that, but I'm just warning you now. If that ever does happen, accidentally or coincidentally or whatever, don't be mad if I don't mention your name because there's gonna be so many people in here. Yay! Thank you. I love that Sailor Moon. So cool. Okay, well, thank you for saying that too. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot. Of course. More than anything in the world, actually. In fact. So, yeah. Good stream, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to mourn those in spiritual turmoil and, do the right thing. And I say tschüss, zdravo, and bye.